What about
Sure.
Nintendo?
Okay,
What
so
about
talking
Nintendo?
about packing a big punch and not packing a big punch. All right, so for Nintendo, there's like good news and there's bad news. For the bad news, Nintendo didn't really have too much to offer out there besides one of its main titles. There was a little bit here and there, like things like Pokemon Moon and like some different a Pokemon game. I guess essentially kind of makes me feel like it's Pokemon Arena from back in N64 days, just
Oh
a
yeah.
little bit revised. But they're good. The good news for Nintendo is Zelda Breath of the Wild. This is the game that was announced. That was like it's been in the making for quite a few years now, about 4.5 years. It looked great. Like, I'm a Zelda fan. I love playing Zelda games during the 64 stages and stuff like that. And this feels like they've cranked it up a lot. First off, the map feels enormous compared to what it normally feels like. Or
It's like an
seems it
Oblivion,
feels like.
Elder Scrolls,
Exactly,
Skyrim.
yeah. So it's
Oh,
massive,
really? That
like-
open world?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it,
exactly.
it's more
It's
like,
massive open world. Huh?
but it's Zelda, you said?
Yeah, it's
It's
Zelda.
Zelda,
So
yeah,
Rocco
Zelda.
was
Oh,
describing Nintendo basically had 2 games, a new Pokemon set of games, which is fine
Yeah.
and dandy, but
Yeah.
then the new Zelda game coming out.
So
That's pretty cool.
Honestly, Nintendo didn't pack too much of a punch here in the E3, but what they did, the Breath of the Wild did take over the whole expo, and it should have realistically, because this game was, like we were talking about, it's extremely large. The map is extremely large, and it has a bunch of different environments too as well. Have you guys seen the movie recently, Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so how Zootopia has all these different environments involved in the city. You've got the rainforest, and you've got the freezing Arctic, and you've got all these other locations. This kind of seemed like it had that too involved in its map, and that it to me it feels like if they're going to have all these different variations in their environments, I'm hoping that they're going to feel different too. So when you go to these locations, they're not going to play the
Yeah.
same. You're not going to have like something that's just copy and pasted from just to make the map bigger.
Right,
I feel
right,
like
right.
it's going to make
And
it
with different colors, yeah.
Right, not just different colors. That's what I'm saying. Not just switching out the colors, and it's kind of the same map and same place. I think they're going to be different and feel different because they have like that physics engine involved too as well. So there might be like ice area, might be like some slab.
Were the graphics like? Do they look any newer? Kind of.
I
They
mean,
do. They look new. They look good. I think they look good. It's for the Wii U. So for me,
it's hard to understand you a bit, Rocco, because you're still
Yeah.
choppy. I will say, just to piggyback off him, that it's probably the best Wii U graphics, also stylized, so keep that in mind. It's not like realistic, so they get away with a lot more. I mean, it just looks like what you would expect a Zelda game to look like these days.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a very strong influence from Wind Waker in its like brushstrokes and its
Okay.
color.
Yeah.
Sorry, what game is it again?
The new Zelda game.
Zelda.
Oh.
Now you said it's for Wii U. Can you still have it just for the Wii? Is that compatible? I'm not sure.
I don't believe they're backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, okay.
Which-
Wii U and the Wii. And one thing too is that when Star Fox came out, well, it was a big deal about it was only exclusive to a certain controller and stuff like that. But the Zelda is said to not be like that. It's not going to be. You can only play it on the gamepad style like controller. You can use the other controller, the Wii controllers if you want to and whatnot. So
Okay.
that's kind of a big deal too. Not just that, but there's a lot to this game. It wasn't just like the landscape looked good and the art and the art direction looked good too as well. But there's a lot more like an interchangeable armor and weapons, which is something a little bit different. Like there's going to be like you can do cooking and stuff like that, and you're gonna have durability on your armor too.
So they're
there's
really
like,
pushing that full RPG character
exactly.
building
So it's
element.
not,
Yeah.
you know what's
That
kinda
would be
cool?
pretty cool.
Like,
Yeah.
it almost makes you feel like they're building this game towards the older Zelda player. You know what I mean? Not so much that young player anymore, as they're like, hey, we're trying to target the audience that is in their 30s and have played Zelda from the day one, and they're
Yeah.
going to feel like they're going to play this game and enjoy it. And there's going to be a little complexity to it, that it's not just going to be some simple game to play.
Yeah.
You know
Now,
what's
even-
funny?
Yeah.
I was just gonna say is that my dad, he's a huge Zelda fan, and I mean my dad's in his 60s, and he always tells me, he's like, man, I just wish there was a game that came out that kind of complemented that old Zelda style game. So I might even try to get that for him.
Yeah, man.
Might be a good idea.
honestly, it looks really good too. honestly, it looks like a really good game. So they have the normal like Zelda puzzle kind of deal involved in it, where your classic style puzzles you're gonna have to solve and whatnot. But they have some new things too as well. So like I know climbing was involved in some of it, but the climbing now kind of feels and looks like, you know, it's like Spider-Man games that we were talking about, or it looks like Assassin's Creed style games. So it's like good mechanics involved. They also have like hang gliding as a thing now, so you can hang glide like between different. What is this? 6 minutes left.
No.
Okay. So quickly, here we go.
What's the name of it, real fast? What's the
Zelda? It's the Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild? Okay.
So you got hang gliding you can do nowadays, which is kind of cool too as well. A new feature that's involved that it's something that you weren't seeing in the other Zelda games before. Where were they left off at? The timeline, I guess, like that's something that was mentioned before in a few different articles and different things. I'm not exactly sure about where the timeline is, and I don't think a lot of other people had a good understanding yet, unless Clay has the answer.
There is speculation that this Zelda, it takes 100 years, like 100 years have passed. There's rust on the Master Sword, and so rust is a key hint. He wakes up, and there's like water or something like that. And so a lot of people are so a lot of people are speculating that he was dead, and that this could be the continuation timeline of when Link died in the Ocarina, because it splits in the timeline. So he could be resurrected or something, and or this is also directly after, like 100 years after Wind Waker, which would actually make sense in its style, and the drainage and the rust, because the world gets like engulfed in water, right? So this would make sense that like it's drained, and now a new adventure is starting.
So one thing I did see too as well, something to kind of let you guys know, like a little bit about the gameplay, like combat-wise. I did see like an exchange happen that looked kind of exciting. It was like he was running in, he was going to kill. I forget what he was trying to fight off, some type of NPC. He was firing off with his bow and arrow first, and was like charging while shooting with his bow and arrow, and then jumped in and switched immediately to his axe and like started hitting with his axe. So it feels like it's gonna be very fluid. It's gonna play really well. It's not gonna be choppy in different ways. I think it's gonna play like the RPGs like we were saying nowadays are kind of the norm and the go-tos for games. I think they're really trying to work to I guess please the older Zelda gamer, and make it so that they feel like there's no transition between playing the U game and something else.
I'm watching the trailer. This totally gives a Shadow of the Colossus vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does. It's very. I like it a lot, honestly.
But this game is essentially. I like to point out that this game is essentially. How much is the Wii U? It's like,
the Wii U?
300.
I'm actually not sure. Yeah, something I think.
So this is essentially a $360 game. Because I don't have a Wii U, and I purposely didn't buy it, and this is the only game I would buy a Wii U for, and it's really like a barrier for me. I can't spend $360 for one game, unfortunately, because this actually looks like the best Zelda to come out in a while.
Kind of the older gamer and stuff like that, like in our age, you know what I mean, a little bit older or whatnot. That would work for me, because I got children that we use. I can find other games that would work really well for them, and they would enjoy it as well. So it's just kind of like, oh, now I can squeeze in my Zelda game, you know what I mean, and like be able to enjoy that. But if I didn't, I probably would feel the same way as you. That's a $360 game. Do I really want that? And that's the only thing. I mean, I don't know how much of an audience they have the Wii U that is still involved with the Wii, that they're like, oh, we're down for that Zelda.
And that's the other thing is the Next is coming out. So is this game going to be a one and done? And then
exactly.
If it works for the Next, and the Next is intriguing, maybe I'll jump on.
So it really wasn't that much of a big punch coming out from the Nintendo side.
But
I'm watching the trailer too. That's awesome.
From what I saw, I do like. I think that the Zelda game does look impressive to me.
That's a big bomb though, for sure.
It is a big bomb.
Letting everybody know about New Zelda, because that's most beloved probably franchise out there.
And you know what? They look like they stepped it up too. So it's like it looks like they did improve it too. So it wasn't just like they put it out there and it was just a POS, and you're like, why the hell did you do that? You know, this is something that looks good, and it looks like gameplay that I'd even enjoy. You know, being like I'm saying, being an adult nowadays. I don't know if you guys have picked up the N64 and played Zelda and stuff like that. It just doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
You're like,
yeah.
this is just it's too easy. The gameplay, the yada yada. So hopefully this would be something that would give you that challenge and make you kind of like retouch your memories as a child. You know.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
Yeah.
exploration
We're gonna-
and things that like, and somebody mentioned this in one of the reviews. It was like every time a rupee comes out, it's not like the UI is very clean, and every time you get a rupee, it's not like, hey, these are rupees, you can do blah blah. Like it's like, yeah, okay, you get this game, now just go and have fun and explore and enjoy. So like, there's a lot of reveals and systems that really arc back to the original Zelda as well as the modernization of games today.
Yeah, and there's some cool like mechanics, like survival mechanics that they involve too, like the hunting and the cooking and stuff like that. Like I was telling you, equipment durability. These are things that they didn't have before. That's really made me into that Skyrim that.
I can't.
You know that. Am I out again?
You're a little out. Basically, you're just describing the other various mechanics like cooking and building a fire. Like if you have a piece of firewood, like there's a crafting system in this game. It's a little bit it's light, which I think is appropriate. But if you find a piece of wood and a flint in a cave, you push those. You just put them together, and then boom, a fireplace loads up. You know what I mean? And then you could cook. Like it's pretty cool. I like it. I think it would be very interesting. Rocco, if there's nothing too big, I know we're running low on time.
Yeah.
Did you want to maybe wrap up?
Yeah. I'm done.
Do you have any like
That's
last
it.
thoughts? Okay, that's it.
No.
And-
I was like, sure, I'm probably not coming in the best either. So I mean, let's
Yeah.
try that one.
Okay, sorry about that, man.